Welcome to episode 44, one Durant a day to keep the doctor away. My name's Harry. I've got Ben in the studio with me. Where do we start?
Oh man, I love this. Well, since we're rolling with the theme of keeping the doctor away, let's have a little medical check-in, maybe. A little update on the Phoenix Suns, because Kevin Durant had his debut game, back from injury. He looked really good.
And it was against the Hornets, which honestly, I saw that and I was like, yeah, that's great. Ease KD in.
No shade to the Hornets, but let's be real. It's a nice, easy game to start back.
Well, no shade to the Hornets, but we haven't had a chance to discuss that LaMelo Ball has a right foot fracture, something.
Yeah,
he's done.
Ankle, which is a shame. He actually wasn't even contacted on the play. He kind of just rolled it, doing a crossover.
Something popped.
Went down, it looked bad. So, really sad to hear, because he's had a few issues with his with injuries so far. Can't really get a solid season out of him.
All of the Ball brothers, all three of them,
have had
even the one that can't make it to the NBA. Like they've all have sort of a bad injury history. Do you think that? And my fantasy squad, we were chatting about this in the chat. Do you think that LeVar possibly was pushing the Ball brothers too much as a kid?
I could see that. Like obviously I wasn't there, but I could definitely see that being the case.
There's a lot of interviews where they were like training really hard from like 10 years old and like
because look, to get to that level you need to go all in. Like you need to be pushed hard to your absolute limit, but when you're really young, I don't know, morally I'm not a fan of that, but I don't think to get them to the level they are, you do need to
look at their injury history.
Yeah.
All of them are struggling, and potentially the wear and tear. There was even discussion, I think, on Reddit about how younger athletes are playing so many more games of basketball to get noticed, and there's so much more college basketball games than there used to be 10, 20 years ago, and we're seeing a lot of younger players struggling. And the game's so fast now as well. We've discussed that before, how much faster the game is and how that does increase wear and tear. It's just an interesting thing. Sucks that LaMelo's out. I hope he bounces back. I hope he gets off the Hawks. What a dumpster fire.
Hornets,
But, did I say Hawks?
Yeah.
Whoops, Hornets. It was a H. I was close.
Yeah.
Come on. But I did watch I watched some highlights. I did watch a bit of the beginning of the Suns game, and they looked really good.
Yeah. I think offensively, it was a bit of an exaggeration, but I did compare some comparisons to the Warriors when KD joined. I think, obviously not the same caliber, but the thing that I was seeing was already quite an offensively focused, offensively sound team. And then you're kind of adding that cherry on top. It seems like he's not completely changing their game plan. He's not reworking them entirely. He's kind of slotting in.
Their game plan suits him though. Like Suns were already like the biggest midi taking team in the league.
Yeah.
You throw Kevin Durant in, and he was getting blocks. He was playing good defense. A lot of the things that we were worried about with the Suns and KD and what they gave up, completely wrong.
Yeah.
I was looking. I mentioned before the podcast. I was like, hey. I watched the highlights, and I realized that like when they get to playoffs, like you're gonna have maybe a 9, maybe 10. It's usually like 8 to 9 player rotation for playoffs, and they've got that. They've got Landale, they've got TJ Warren, they've got Damian Lee. There's another one I'm forgetting.
Torrey Craig.
Yeah,
they've got good depth.
They're actually looking pretty good. They've got enough people in each position. It's not like a couple of years ago where it was just DeAndre Ayton playing the 5, and he was like their main big guy. Like they've kind of got him now, KD. They've got Jock, Landale, who honestly like hit a 3, like lots of hustle, younger player. I think I don't want to be like they've won it. I don't like that, but
because there are a lot of competitive teams,
but we'll talk about that in a moment.
They are looking very good.
But on paper, let's do this. On paper, looking pretty good.
Yeah.
And after versing the Hornets, who were second last in the East, looked pretty good. But that's what you wanted. I thought it was a perfect way to sort of ease Durant in. He was on a minutes restriction, and he only played 27 minutes, and then the starters only played 33, because there was a brief moment where the Hornets came back, but then it was just...
Yeah, but it was wire to wire. They were leading the whole way. So, I mean, in only 27 minutes, 23 points, KD was efficient. So it's good to see him slot right in there and start getting buckets.
Booker had such a big game. But that's the thing. That's what what we're talking about here. It's like a little bit less pressure on DeAndre Ayton, but that man got like 16 rebounds.
Yeah,
and
I think that fits so much better now because he's going from kind of that third star piece to now just being like a solid starter, and he can focus more on what he needs to do. Just get easy buckets inside, rebounds.
Not as reliant on him. Yeah, 20 points a game now.
Because we discussed obviously when he got that max, or not quite max. I think he was put out into the market for a while. But we're saying, like, is he worth all the money? I don't think he's at the same tier as some of these other stars are. But I think that's good. I think he can just really lock into his role now because the pressure's on the other three stars to really carry the load offensively. So
well, he's kind of like still maybe like an equal third with like CP3, depending on how.
Because he only scored 2 points this game, CP3. So
he had a bad one. He's still good. I think. Look, you're running out of time for the CP3 train. This is probably your year. I think this is why you pull the trigger. But with Devin Booker and KD, with this supporting cast, I think it has a lot of potential to be incredibly. There was a word I was going to say there, and it's just completely
potent
gone.
Offense.
Yeah, potent. Let's go with potent.
Yeah.
Save me. It's been a big day at work. Oh, my goodness. So,
but yeah, I think they passed their medical checkup. I think they're looking good now that KD's back. And honestly, I'm just looking forward to playoff level because, as you said, their rotation's going to look pretty strong for that. So,
looking at the West Conference right now, from 4th all the way to my phone's in the way, to like 12th, 13th. There's 5 games. Yeah. Last week when we did this podcast, I'm pretty sure Golden State were in like 8th off memory, something around there. And now Golden State are 5th.
Yeah, they've gone 6-4 in their last 10 games. And I'm not going to lie, I'm a bit surprised they're sitting up in 5th. But that's just a testament to how close it is currently in those mid-range.
Look at all of these. These teams, they're all like 32-30, 33-31, 32-31. Like it's just like the whole West is just smack bang in the middle.
Yeah, it's literally like 3.5 games separating making it straight into the playoffs and not even making the play-ins.
Yeah,
that's how close it is. So it's going to be really crucial. Not even just making it, but the seeding is going to be crucial as well because those matchups, I can see there being some really tough ones in the playoffs. So
Did you see the rumor? Or not a rumor, but there's a report that came out that apparently like the Los Angeles Lakers are targeting the Sacramento Kings for their playoff run. And it's like, bro, you need to make the playoffs first. You can't. They're like, oh yeah, we think we have there was a report that was like Lakers think they have a favorable matchup against the Sacramento Kings due to their playoff inexperience. And I was just like, mate, you guys aren't even in the play-ins yet.
Yeah, they don't have the luxury of choosing which seed. At this point, they're trying to just make it in.
I was like, my goodness, Lakers are something else at times.
They have to give their fans some hope to go from, I guess.
How? Look, they won today, which good on them, against OKC.
Yeah.
Crickets.
Which I guess in the scheme of things is a kind of important game for them because they're jostling for position with teams around that.
To be honest, the OKC are only 5.5 games behind 10th, from 4th. So it's like OKC all the way up are still like pretty much the only 2 teams that are out in the West are San Antonio and Houston.
Yep.
Everyone else in the West has a chance of making play-ins / playoffs.
Honestly, it's crazy that 4th all the way down to 13th. So that's pretty much 10 teams right there are separated by about 5 games. That's actually crazy. It's
so crazy. I cannot say enough how exciting this is. Playoffs is going to be wild. And honestly, I don't think you can lock anyone in.
No.
Even though like Denver and Memphis and the Sacramento Kings have a little bit of a pull away, I just think with the way things are going, it just takes one injury or one bad game, and that could really these teams are all so close.
Yeah, or even just one hot streak because the Warriors, like we said, have already jumped up to 5th. Which, to be honest,
Curry.
Yeah, that's with Curry.
Pool's been playing really well.
Yeah.
While we were making fun of Los Angeles Lakers, unfortunately, in their win against Dallas, LeBron went down, played through the injury because that's what LeBron does sometimes, and now he's out for several weeks.
Yep. So that definitely makes the Lakers' hopes a little bit worse. Well, significantly worse.
Significantly.
So, that's kind of crucial. I mean, props to him for keep playing through it, but you wonder if that made things worse, and now
probably
longer.
Look, they got the W against Dallas, but
not
worth being out for several weeks when it's this close.
Yeah, not gonna lie, I had a little bit of a suspicion, is he quote unquote air quotes like injured. And so when he misses playoffs, he can be like, yeah, it wasn't my fault. I wasn't there.
But he's had that excuse the last couple of years. So maybe it is. Look, this is usually around the time of year that LeBron's body fails him. But that's kind of a bit on the Lakers as well, because they haven't really been reducing his minutes. They've
been relying on him so heavily. He's been
when he wants to win as well. But it's also just like you need to what he's outputting at the moment is absolutely insane.
Yeah, especially at his age.
Out of this world. I would be like, honestly, I'd be cutting him. I'd almost be bringing him down to like 20 to 25, because you need him for playoffs.
Yeah, you got to get him to the playoffs.
If you guys can't win with him playing 30 to 35 minutes, or 30, there's no point playing him for 40 minutes, 35 minutes, 30 minutes. Yeah. His body, because every year for the last 3 years, he's crashed and burned near playoff time or at the end of the season.
Yeah, he's been nearly an Iron Man, so close to keeping that together, but
playing so well. But they need to start ramping him down and saving him so that he can play 40 minutes in playoffs.
100%, yeah.
And this injury sort of highlights that. The Lakers need to and look, the team's been playing pretty well post-trade.
Yeah, honestly, they made some good moves. Vanderbilt, people have been getting on the hype train for him.
Might be a steal of the century.
Yeah, honestly, it was sad that Utah lost him, because I could see him being a solid piece. They're looking a little bit better.
He's still got another year in his deal.
Yeah.
So he could play well and they don't have to pay him.
Yeah. Maybe finally a good move by the Lakers. So.
Lakers don't deserve to keep getting bailed out like this. I'm over it. Why do people go, oh yeah, Lakers, let me give you a good deal? Because you're the Lakers. Yeah. Screw the Lakers.
I guess players want to play there, so they kind of always have that up their sleeve.
I hope they don't make the play-in.
Well, I guess we'll see, because honestly, the next few games are going to be interesting. Yeah, without LeBron, we'll see if they can keep it together.
Also for my Bulls.
I keep forgetting about that.
The spicy icy bet.
Yeah, the current wager we have going.
The current wager is that the Lakers won't make it past the first round. But if they don't make the play-ins at all, that'd be even easier for.
I mean, yeah, then you're definitely out of the woods. But yeah, we'll see.
Because I think the way we're going, I'm most likely going to be eating some, doing the cinnamon challenge, because the Sacramento Kings somehow have forgotten that they suck.
Can we quickly talk about them? Because this is just a little bit of an update. A little bit of an update for you.
I don't know if I want to.
Well, maybe just to prepare yourself for the end of the season.
I think this is fake news.
So, famously, you have been rooting against the Kings. We've got a wager running on that as well. But
what is the wager?
I'm pretty sure. Let me make sure I got this correct. I'm pretty sure we have it that they won't make it past the first round. I'm pretty sure.
Is it first round, or was it they won't finish top 6? Have we not written this down? What does the board say?
I'm getting confused with the Lakers one. No, it is won't finish top 6.
Yep.
And currently they're in third with a decent little bit of a buffer. But an interesting statistic here is that the Sacramento Kings currently have the best offensive rating by a team in a season, all time.
Why aren't they first?
118.8.
Why aren't they coming first then?
Because defense is part of it too. But little string of games here from De'Aaron Fox, who didn't actually get an All-Star. Last 7 games, dropped 33 points, 8 assists, 42 points, 12 assists. Then we got 31 points, 35 points, 36 points, 33 points, 31 points, 11 assists. He's just been an offensive weapon recently. I don't understand the dissing of the Kings, because yes, they've been a terrible franchise for many years,
and they will continue to do so.
But honestly, and look, I'm gonna be honest here. Last season when they made that Sabonis trade, I was like, what are they doing? They got rid of Halliburton, the future of their franchise, and they got Sabonis, and I was like, that's it, last straw for the Kings. But honestly, the team is working really well.
It kind of
Sabonis an All-Star, and it kind of worked out for both teams, because the Pacers end up with Halliburton, who's been playing great too, All-Star as well. So honestly, I'm still backing the Kings to go.
But this isn't. Look, they're playing well, and here's the thing, right? For the Kings, they're doing really well, but for the league, this isn't a championship-winning team.
No, not a championship-winning team. But you know what? I'm almost ready to elevate that bet. So you said you won't finish top 6, and if they don't, then I have to do the spicy sauce. I'm gonna say they make it out of the.
Is it spicy sauce or is it cinnamon challenge?
Cinnamon for the Kings. So I keep getting the confused.
What's the spicy sauce for?
The spicy sauce is for the Nuggets will finish first. That's the spicy sauce. Yep.
That's what you took on that.
I'm locking that in.
Wow.
But the Kings is the cinnamon challenge. Yep, sorry.
Okay.
I'm going to elevate it to that they make it out of the first round. of the playoffs, because I know they're inexperienced, so this is quite a big wager. I don't actually know how they're going to go, because this is a team that hasn't been in the playoffs for a decade and a half. So it's honestly it's a risky one, but I'm going to back them.
Are they a Jazz where they finish? Okay, wait. So they're third. That means they'd be playing sixth. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, so at the moment they're facing the Clippers. Oh, it really.
They could be facing anything from like the Warriors, Clippers, Mavs, maybe Timberwolves. It's tough.
That's a hard one, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll do it. I'll do it. So the bet is if they make it out of the first round.
Yeah.
If they don't, you do the cinnamon challenge. If they do, I will do the. Yeah, no, I'll take that. I'll do that.
Yeah, just because this is helping you, because I feel like they're easily finishing top 6. So at the moment, it'd be going to you.
You're sort of bailing me out, but then you're sort of not, because I was like,
See, I think it's going to be a big question. I think you're right. A little bit of the Jazz syndrome at the moment.
No, actually, you know what? I'll give you that. It's definitely you're going from it's definitely a riskier bet.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I'll give you props for that.
Because I think regular season they're going to be solid, and then playoffs we're going to see them fall apart. But I'm just banking on them having the depth, the options. I think they've put a good team together. I think that they'll get out of the first round. We'll see.
Love, yeah, no, I'll take that. I'll take the risk. Look, honestly, you've just presented that the Kings have the best offense in the league. De'Aaron Fox is on fire.
Yeah.
Like, now's the time to bat. Honestly, it's not at the end. It's a risky bet, but it's not a terrible bet.
Yeah, I mean, there's statistics to back it up, but
and here's the thing, right?
Here's
the thing, right? I've done quick math. I have done quick math, but sixth place could be anyone, right?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I would pick. Let's say it was the Jazz that got sixth. I would pick the Kings over the Jazz.
Oh, for sure.
So my one, it really, for me, it is so dependent on who gets sixth spot.
Yeah, which at the moment could be literally anyone because of how close it is.
Sixth could wreck me or could make my bet. There's literally the matchup is so important for this.
Yeah.
But statistically, the Kings are looking really good, and you've made a good bet.
We'll have to see if it's a good one.
Look, it's a risk. I've made a risk.
I think the playoff experience will be the crucial bit. So,
but it depends. Yeah, there's so many variables. There's so many variables.
I mean, the West is absolutely up for grabs for everyone at the moment. But meanwhile, in the East, it's looking a little bit more set in stone. Personally.
Yes. No, I was just absolutely. It's spread out a bit. It's pretty much we're pretty much at the stage where I feel like the top 6 is not quite decided. I think Miami and Brooklyn could flip around. We have to see if Brooklyn are going to keep dropping. They have slowly started to drop. They were 4th when they traded KD.
I believe so. Yeah. So they've gone 2-8 in their last 10. They are dropping as expected, but
it's a little bit slower than we thought.
Yeah,
but then 2-8 isn't great.
No, it hasn't been great. I mean, we had that huge game from Bridges. Cam Johnson, I just think, had a 40-ish point game. So they're having little bright sparks, but as a whole, they're not. I don't think they're going to keep up in the playoff picture, to be honest.
Let's see. I'm not sure. I'm still in theory they could potentially still make a play-in spot.
Yeah.
We just have to see how far. How long will it take them to sort of work everything out? They've still got good players. It's just they haven't got the all-stars that they used to have, but they've got a lot of potential. We like that word.
That's true.
Potential.
That's true. So, honestly, they have got, still a bit of time to get their stuff together. So.
And I'd almost rate them better than, I'd still probably rate... Oh, how is Chicago out of the top 10? Good God.
Yeah, injuries and just not really...
Terrible. But look, I'm not going to... Yeah, Brooklyn have a chance of making play-ins. I think they'll continue to slide... But they've got a chance, but otherwise the East is sort of opened up. I think the top 5 are pretty safe. New York are on a 7-game win streak, which is pretty wild. What? How is again this team isn't that good, but New York just seem to somehow it's almost like accident, not by accident. Obviously, a lot of work goes into their moves, but it's they can't just keep fumbling along and kind of just. Through sheer spite, I don't know. They just make good moves, and that you're oh, there's really I didn't really I wasn't that high on the Brunson deal. I'll be really honest. I wasn't that high on it, and it's just kind of worked. And it's everything the Knicks do, you're just that shouldn't work, but somehow they make it happen.
The thing that I will say is that I was also not high on the Brunson deal either. And especially because of the track history of the Knicks with point guards in particular. They just can't get a leader on the team. They've gone with like Kemba and that failed, and etc. etc. But honestly, I think it's the best move they made in years with Brunson, because he's been playing great. I think he dropped like 39 today. He's honestly playing really well, working well with the team. They've got the younger players getting a bit more experience now, and it's actually looking like a semi-good team. And that Josh Hart move that recently happened too. He's fitting in well to the team as well. So,
well, I thought that Brunson was an idiot for not going back with Dallas. Like, you're playing with a generational talent like Luka.
It's true.
You guys made Western Conference Finals. Like, why wouldn't you run it back?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you take a little bit of a pay cut? But he bet on himself to be a number. Like, he was never going to be a number one in Dallas, and now he's a number one in New York, and it's paying off, and we look like idiots.
It's true.
Jalen Brunson, you were correct so far.
So yeah, we'll own up when we're wrong. So let's just see how the Knicks go in playoffs, because I think that'll be the question. How they actually go against their current matchup would be, I think, Cleveland. So there are some real tough teams in the top half.
I don't think that's a good matchup for them.
No, I don't think it is.
But then I don't see a lot of the top four being a good matchup for Brooklyn.
Because that's the thing with the East.
Brooklyn,
You've got those really tough top teams, and then it kind of gets a bit more even after that.
If they could get on a roll and get to like,
like if they could squeeze into the top 4 seeds and potentially play a slightly easier team, then I don't know. There's a good chance of a more even matchup. But yeah, ideally they want to not be playing Bucks, Celtics, Sixers, or Cavs, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a bad matchup for them.
Yeah.
Talking about the Bucks though, when have I been living under a rock? How did I miss that they've been on a 16-game win streak?
Look, to be honest, it's been a kind of quiet 16-win streak, and I think that's just because they kind of have just been consistent. Like it's not like they've been destroying teams with some crazy dominant performances, which look have been a few of them here and there, and they haven't really made any moves. They haven't really done any crazy trades either. It's more or less the same team. They're just chugging away, and I think we saw the Celtics for the majority of the season, if not all the season, being at the top. And the Bucks have been like, yeah, cool, we're just creeping up and up and up. And yeah, not like the Celtics have really been playing badly either. They've gone 8-2 in their last 10, but the Bucks have just been absolutely cooking. Cooking.
I don't think I can talk smack about a team that's on a 16-game win streak, but I just, on paper, like they're winning, right? I just don't see this team doing well in playoffs.
I mean, I guess that's the question. I mean, look, we've seen the Bucks obviously win a championship, make decent runs, kind of being injury affected. Yeah, but I guess that's the thing, is that strategy against Giannis is a thing in the playoffs.
The thing is, if you shut down Giannis, and look, Drew has been playing well. He's had a couple of 30 bombs. He's really been stepping up.
Yeah, and
I just don't know how much he can keep that up. He hasn't been that guy before. He's been more of a defensive specialist.
Yeah, so that's definitely his forte.
We'll have to see if he can maintain these bigger numbers and the consistency. It's anyone can get a 30 bag these days.
I mean, yeah, we're seeing people dropping big numbers left and right.
Getting big numbers isn't hard, but doing it consistently in playoffs when teams are trying to stop you from doing, like, putting a lot more effort into actually stopping you as opposed to one-off games.
True.
And then obviously, and Chris Middleton's still that big question mark.
Well, yeah, I was about to say, this is all like without Middleton.
He's day-to-day at the moment, so I think he might be playing a little bit.
I think he's, definitely not played the last couple. But yeah, I think they've been kind of hesitant to bring him back, obviously not risking too much. He has been...
He's been playing about
20-something minutes,
Yeah, he's averaging about 20, I'd say.
But yeah, point is they're not bringing him back to his full minutes and stuff like that, and they're still playing really well. So... full strength Middleton back. I don't know. I know it's a similar team. We've seen strategies used against them, but I can still see them looking solid
down there.
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
And compared to other teams, I want to say that the Bucks have the least depth.
Yeah.
Or maybe not the least as in like the worst, but they're definitely on the lower end.
Yeah, definitely lower end. I think there are other teams that we've seen that have got a lot more options, whereas this is a bit more reliant on their starters. I mean, They do have some depth, I will say. It doesn't seem like they're a bit of a sleeper team, because obviously after the starters, they've got guys off the bench like Ingles. He's a little older now, but still has minutes. Grayson Allen, as much as he's dirty, he's a good player off the bench. Wes Matthews, playoff experience. Pat Connaughton, solid. They did actually pick up Jay Crowder, I forgot to mention.
Oh, yeah.
Because, he I guess wasn't playing on the Suns and eventually
has
got
that
moved.
Bobby Portis out of the rotation?
I'm not sure. I think Bobby still gets some minutes, but maybe slightly reduced. But yeah, I think they've just made subtle moves. They haven't changed up entirely. They've got little pieces here and there. But yeah, I still think, and plus they're an experienced playoff team. I know that we've seen strategies, but I think they can adapt to them. They won a ring. So yeah, I think they're a bit of a quiet, dominant force. So
we'll have to look. Yeah, like it's okay. It's just I still think there are other teams out there, but then we can't come. Giannis is amazing, and they're on a 16-game win streak. But again, playoffs is where it counts. So we'll have to see. We've seen multiple teams go really well in regular season and go nowhere in playoffs. True. I would like to see of the top 5. Honestly, I'd rather maybe not Boston, but maybe yes Boston, but Milwaukee have won. I'm the sort of person that I like to see other teams go up there.
Yeah.
So ideally, while Milwaukee have won one and Boston were there last year, so I'd rather not see those two make it further than. I'd love to see Philly or Cleveland or someone else have a chance, but it depends on who plays the best.
Yeah, I definitely agree because we have seen a lot of the same teams. That kind of how it goes. You have an era, but yeah, I think this season has shown that we've got a lot of contenders, especially in the West. So hopefully we'll see some fresh faces in there. I'm still kind of back in Cleveland, to be honest, because that team
for Cleveland.
Yeah, very exciting. I've just liked the mix of youth. A few guys have been there to the playoffs a lot before. But yeah, I think another thing with the Cavs, same with maybe some of the other teams, is going to be experience. I think, teams like the Bucks and Celtics will have that edge there. So we'll have to see if they can give them a run for their money.
Boston started off so hot. I'm really surprised to see them cool off a bit. At the beginning of the season, I was like, it's a lock, Boston.
Yeah.
And they've sort of cooled off a bit. But it is regular season, so we can't, they're still 8-2 in their last 10.
Yeah, they're still playing really well. Just the Bucks have been playing absolutely insane. So.
Yeah. But Bucks, Celtics, 76ers, Cavs, this honestly, just like in the West, this top 4 or 5, any of them could get it, depending on 100%. How the games go and how they play and strategy and all that.
100%. If we move down from the top few teams into that kind of play-in picture that there are some teams jostling for, we've got the Hawks, who we discussed previously. Lost their coach.
I wish we had a video podcast so you could see me. I'm giving the thumbs down.
Big thumbs down.
Because the Hawks have got no chance.
Tell me what's happening there.
First round exit, guaranteed.
If they make it into the playoffs.
They make it into the playoffs. But first round... do I say that they're not going to make the play-in? They're going to lose their play-in? No. But yeah, no. Look, I'll guarantee first round exit if they make it that far. But I think it's very possible that they'll go before then. I'll put something on it if you want. Do we want to put something on that?
Could put a bet on it. We've already got Cinnamon Challenge. I'm coughing just thinking about it. Cinnamon Challenge.
I guess it comes down to though. Do you think, or do you want to bet against me, or am I betting myself?
No, I'm probably on the same page with you for this one. I can't see them doing particularly well.
Oh, what do we? I was thinking we have to discuss it. I was like,
maybe
we should do. Have you seen the videos where people do the handcuff challenge?
No, but it sounds interesting.
We have to handcuff each other. We'll have to do we could do
It's like a group punishment because we're both betting against them.
We both think that they're gonna.
I was gonna say since they're Hawks, maybe we do an egg smashed on their head because it's a bird-based team. Maybe a combination of both. Maybe handcuffs.
We'll discuss it.
We'll discuss it.
We'll discuss something. But we both think we both agree that Atlanta won't make it past the first round.
No, 100% no. No,
so
absolutely not.
Well, if they do make it, we'll think of a punishment that does us both.
Yeah.
But talking about the Hawks, though, Quinn Snyder is officially the coach.
Yep. So lock that in. I think good pickup out of the available coaches. I think,
easily good. The best pickup available.
So I think it's a wise move.
Easy.
But do you think he's going to be enough to turn things around?
Well, I hope so. Look, usually a Quinn Snyder team usually has a pretty good team chemistry, and the Hawks need some team chemistry. Because we've been talking a lot about you look at this Atlanta Hawks team, and on paper, we talk a lot about on paper though, this team's great and honestly should be top 6.
Yeah.
With the talent that they have. But I was reading a report today that the Hawks team vibe is being described as broken, ugly, and total poo. And change poo to another word that we can't say on our family friendly.
Yeah.
My mum listens to this podcast, so we have to keep it clean.
But not exactly a stellar review of their locker room.
That's not a good. And we've mentioned this before. We've talked about how there haven't been the greatest vibes coming out. And then furthermore, this report says that Trae Young fails to lead, to understand, or care to understand what is required of him. So Quinn Snyder has a lot of fixing to do. I think he's signed on for like 4 or 5 years off memory. I may be making that up though. So don't get mad if I'm wrong. But look, Quinn, for the offense that they run, Quinn is perfect. He's shown a lot of success for the sort of offense that the Hawks are running at the moment. However, dealing with a difficult number one, he may not be as experienced with. I don't think
because he didn't really have any real divas in Utah. I think it was relatively balanced team. I think everyone was kind of on the same page.
Dono had his moments, not Donna. Sorry, Dono had his moments, but I don't think he's as bad as Trae is.
Yeah, not to the extent that they're saying in these reports. Broken, ugly, and total doo-doo. So
yes. So look, we were both hoping that this would happen. I think that the Hawks on paper, like we've mentioned, again, have a lot of potential and have good players. Like, it's a pretty decent team that they've got together. Yeah. But something's just not clicking.
100%.
So if things aren't clicking, Quinn Snyder is probably the best man for the job, or easily the best man that's available.
Yeah. So honestly, I think we'll keep our eyes on this one, because it'd be interesting to see them turn it around.
They've got time to turn it around. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And this happened a couple of years ago where they got their other coach and they were hanging around, and then they made it to the second round, I think, off a pretty recently acquired coach. So it's definitely possible. But
we are down to the last 20 games. We're soon going to be in the teens of games left. So it's getting to the pointy end.
If they could get in a good run, it's possible.
Yeah,
the Hawks.
It's true.
It's possible. I don't want to rule them out.
Especially considering the competitors at the moment are the dropping Nets, the Heat, who you're definitely never really high on, the Raptors, who, man, have just not really kept
Watch
together.
Out. The Heat just got Kevin Love the other day.
True. We'll see if that's a factor.
That was sarcasm.
I don't know.
I wasn't being serious.
I think he's a good piece. I think he's experienced.
He's a good piece. He's not a needle mover, though.
That's true. And also the Wizards as well, who, man... That team just can't get things together. So I don't know. The Hawks haven't got the toughest of opposition to kind of make it into the playoffs, but no further.
Trae Young seems to be one of those people that like feeds off people's negativity and like is like when he became the villain to New York and just sort of fed off that energy. Like I am worried a little bit about betting against Trae Young, despite all the issues that he might be causing. He is still an incredibly clutch player.
True. But the only problem is he's making enemies not out of the opposition, but of his own team. So, so maybe not the best player there.
He's doing that real Draymond Green strat. Hey.
Oh, man. Oh.
Don't talk about furries.
Oh, my gosh. Jeez. Speaking
I need to release that clip.
Yeah, we got to release as a little behind-the-scenes blooper. But speaking of, I guess, some behind-the-scenes drama, you've been pointing out the Grizzlies kind of making themselves a bit of a villain. That's a good segue.
Yes.
And I've been saying that some of the drama adds to it, but there have been a couple of reports. Which could you elaborate on?
Well, we've talked about the Grizzlies and how everyone hates them.
Yeah.
Except for you.
They made themselves the villain of the league. Yeah.
Everyone hates them, and it's because they come off. They're just bad attitude. Their attitude's not entertaining.
Yeah.
You can get away with having a bad attitude if it's entertaining. as we proved last week, where the Warriors are by far leading the league in technicals, but it's funny to watch them get teched up when they get mad at the referees, whereas the Grizzlies get mad at other players, and that's not as entertaining. So we did mention as well that there was it was the Pacers. I think I was saying Detroit, but it was the Pacers. It was some nobody team, let's be real. Doesn't matter. But there was this whole incident where apparently some of Ja's boys were pointing lasers at the other team's bus, and lasers in America means guns. In Australia, if you point a laser at someone, you're trying to blind them because we don't have guns here.
No.
But in America, a laser means a gun. Which
so a lot more menacing than...
not a friendly, like, oh, we beat you.
Yeah.
And now there's been several, and I need to, in case Ja listens to this podcast.
Yeah, shout out.
Shout out. If you do, I love you. No, I'm not going to bend like that. But allegedly, I just want to be really, really clear that these are allegations.
Yep, not confirmed.
There's nothing confirmed, and in no way are we saying that this is a real thing that had happened. Allegedly, okay, I think I've done the legal disclaimer. Allegedly, there have been two other additional incidents other than the Pacers one, which includes allegedly beating up a 17-year-old boy and pointing a firearm at him. Allegedly. I want to be really, really, really clear. Please don't sue me. It's allegedly.
Yeah.
And Ja's manager has come out and said that these allegations are completely false and not like a pure fabrication, which is probably what a good manager should be saying until it properly it's. I'm unsure if it's actually been taken to court or not. That's a bit up in the air. I need to research this a little bit more, but it does sort of highlight my concerns about Ja.
Yeah, I think I wasn't really buying into it too much because obviously a little bit biased as a Grizzlies fan. But yeah, obviously all allegations. But yeah, so this type of stuff is happening off the court. Yeah, can't get behind that.
It's concerning.
Yeah,
because it doesn't take much these days to get suspended, fined. Ja might be if he keeps going down this path, like you can't. The more you do it, the harder it is to say we got to stop. Like I'm out. Like the more they that sort of lifestyle clamps down on you, the harder it is to remove yourself from that lifestyle.
Yeah, because end of the day, like these guys are superstars, but they're still people. They still have to abide by laws, and we see what happens to players when they do bad stuff off the court. End of the day, they end up getting suspended or
look what
not
happened to
able to
Draymond.
play. So
for one shove.
I think it was a punch thrown.
But like that's the thing is that he's messing around with things that have higher consequences.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, you just don't want to see a repeated pattern because that's the thing at the moment. If it's like a one-off thing you hear, it's like, oh, whatever. But when you start hearing like just repetition in these, it's like, that's allegations. We're making it clear.
Allegations, but when there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
And it's not. These are not good allegations to be coming out at this time.
No, 100% no. So anyway, we'll have to see if there's anything confirmed. But for now, it's all just... And look... When the media starts spinning things certain ways, it's easy to throw around allegations of things when already there's stuff up there. So some of it could be fabricated, but who knows?
We'll just have to see.
Yeah.
So, but it's still concerning.
Yeah.
Especially for your best player, like having these sort of things. Like it's just extra stress and noise that they don't need at the moment. They make enough noise on their own without these off the court incidents starting to pile up.
Certainly a noisy team is one way to put it.
We'll have to see. The Mavs. I want to talk about the Mavs. They've done a couple of things, and it's not good.
Yeah.
First off, they blew a 27-point lead against the Lakers and lost, and they are the first team to have done that. Previously, it was 138 wins to 0. So it was if you got 27 points ahead, it was 100% guaranteed that you were going to win the game until Dallas came along.
Now it's like 99.something%. How could they? I want to throw a little point in because I have also had a similar thought. Is that Kyrie obviously a big addition? People have been yelling, "Someone get some help for Luka" for some time now, and I think Kyrie obviously is some help. But a lot of these close games down the stretch, I think the Lakers game was one of them. Is that in the clutch, it used to always go to Luka. He was the only guy. And a lot of the time, he'd hit the big shot and they'd win. You've got Kyrie, who is a clutch player, to be fair, but it seems like there's this like choice they have to make now, which makes it look tougher for defenders because you don't know who it's going to necessarily.
I think it should go to either. Like, it's whoever can get open.
Two options. But I don't know. Sometimes, like, you see Luka, and to props to him, he's like, go for it, Kyrie, take the shot. I honestly want to see Luka taking those shots.
I'm going to go on a counterpoint and say that I think it's bad coaching.
Okay. From Jason Kidd.
Yeah. Right. You see a lot of like last play of the game and it's just relying on like a step back three from either Kyrie or Luka. And it's like, come on, can't you draw up something better than like a, hey, Luka, we've got 10 seconds to go, ISO, and then step back?
Yeah. I mean, look, and that's Luka's bag. Like, he hits those. But you're right, though, because you don't see much action actually being run. You're just watching one guy ISO, which is quite easily defended. So could we be seeing better options for these end of the games and not blowing leads like this?
look, obviously Kyrie's still new, and I feel like compared to the other moves that have happened recently, Kyrie is plug and play, but he's not plug and play at the same time, if that makes sense.
Okay.
He's not he's not plug and play like Kevin Durant is.
Yeah. I think
He's
it's
not-
fair. Like, KD gets buckets, will fit into offense no matter what.
He's not
really.
plug and play like Harden, who will sort of do whatever role you sort of want him to do. He's not plug and play like D'Angelo Russell can kind of just, run up the court and shoot in transition threes.
Yeah, because Kyrie, the difference being is he's a little bit more ball in hand kind of guy. Like, he wants the ball. Like, he can still catch and shoot.
If he plays off ball, though, he needs to be a bit more in the system.
Yeah, that's fair. Because you see a lot of ISO run for Kyrie, and look, he's an absolute wizard at that.
It is.
He's insane. But, yeah, I think it does disrupt, I think would be a fair description, a little bit more.
I could see a little bit more time needed for the Mavs to sort of make everything fit together versus some of the other moves that have happened.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Kyrie's a wizard. He is an absolute magician when it comes to what he can do with a basketball.
Yeah.
One of the best there is. But the way that the Mavs were playing, it's a big adjustment. They've gone from funneling everything through Luka, and now they've got two people to funnel through. And I watched the breakdown video when Kyrie debuted, and they did make some smart changes of like every time Luka got doubled, he'd pass it to Kyrie. Kyrie's got space to move.
Yeah.
But I just feel like there's a little bit more adjustment and time needed for them to sort of really iron in like how are we going to use Luka and Kyrie, two megastars.
Yeah.
The most effective. But but then also speaking from that though, they've gone 3 from 8 since they've acquired Kyrie.
Yeah.
So they've got time to sort of iron things out. They're still in there. They're sitting at 7th at the moment, so they've got time, but they haven't got a lot of it.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, I think it's going to take a little bit of adjustment period, but I still think it's a positive overall move. So
I think I think it's positive as well, and I think the team, especially like there's rumors that Dallas will give Kyrie the 4-year max that he wants, which I think for Dallas like you kind of have to.
Yeah, at this point you've gone in on it. So
if Kyrie's gonna do it, like if Kyrie will stay for 4 years, do it. Kyrie's amazing. Kyrie and Luka's a good combo. You've got time then with the two of them on longer contracts to try and rush fixing this roster a little bit, but the roster's not terrible at the same time. It's not going to win. It's a fluke shot for a championship, but it's possible. Yeah. I don't want to count anyone out, and I think that this team should be a top 8 team.
It's true. That's true.
They need time because of how. But I'm leaning at the moment. Here's my hot take for the week.
Okay.
I think it's a coaching problem. I don't think it's a personnel problem.
Interesting. Well, I mean, I think there are some flaws in the coaching. I still think that they're kind of missing, I don't know, I think they gave up a fair bit, and they're maybe missing a little bit of the elements they had before.
A little bit, but I feel like there needs to be a better offensive scheme.
Yeah.
The coaches kind of got bailed out before with how good Luka was.
I think that's a fair point, actually.
And now that they have a better player, they're kind of like struggling to... Like, Luka just sort of balled despite everything.
Yeah.
And now that they've got another good player in Kyrie, they're kind of... The coaching is kind of showing lacking, in my opinion.
Just Luka just going off kind of masks some of the lacking of a coach game plan. So, yeah. I think it's a fair call. Let us know what you think. Keep an eye out. We're going to be doing... We had a quiet week this week because we've been so busy. But we're on time for recording. One thing that we totally forgot to mention.
What did we forget to
mention? Damian Lillard dropping 71 points did also happen in the last...
It was against the Rockets.
It was against the Rockets, so it's kind of an easy team. But...
Sorry, Dame.
That's pretty crazy, though. 2 guys in the one season dropping 71. That's, I think, the first time we've had 2 70-point performances in the one season.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
But everyone's just having a career game against the Rockets, so...
That's true.
I'm not too... Sorry, Dame. I don't want to take away from you, but it's the Rockets.
That's pretty fair. Yeah.
They're tanking for Wembanyama.
But shout out Dame Dollar. Big game. Very exciting to watch.
Dollar.
I guess we'll stay tuned.
But yeah, keep an eye out. We'll be doing more content this week because we were busy and we went out. Look, do you want to know what the real reason was? We went out and partied all weekend and we didn't do things. So that's this week. We're not partying. So keep an eye out for TikToks. We will be getting things on the YouTube Shorts now. I'm going to do it this week. Keep an eye out. Like, subscribe. Give us 5 stars. Ben, give us a closing remark.
Give us your subscription. It belongs to us. Give it to us, please. Support us. Stay tuned. We love you guys.
Thanks. We're out. Bye.
See ya.